This is 8:15 to 19. Neville, please. Genesis 8:15 to 19.
Then God spoke to Noah, saying, "Go out of the ark, you and your wife, and your sons wives with you. Bring out with you every living thing of all flesh that is with you, birds and cattle, and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth, so that they may abound on the earth, and be fruitful and multiply on the earth." So Noah went out, and his sons, and his wife, and his sons' wives with him. Every animal, every creeping thing, every bird, and whatever creeps on the earth, according to their families, went out of the ark.
Okay. Now, it's very simple, because I asked questions, and I don't know the answers. What were God's orders to Noah?
Go out of the ark.
Mm.
Yeah. You and your wife and your sons and wives.
And bring back.
Okay. So, they had to go onto the ark, the sons and the wives of the sons, and Noah and his wife, and
Bring back
all the animals.
all the animals, every living thing.
Families.
Okay.
Families of animals.
Yeah.
What happened?
So one dog could represent all dogs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm.
Is that true?
Yeah.
So,
Well, they would have 7 dogs. Oh no, 2 dogs.
well, yeah.
Because they weren't clean.
No, but in terms of, because this is the argument, isn't it? How could you have a boat big enough for us? Well, because it was by family, wasn't it?
Okay.
By
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Types.
type.
Exactly.
You know, a dog is a dog is a dog.
Yeah.
Whether it's a Chihuahua or a Great Dane, it's still a dog.
Mm.
And they lose information.
Lose information, yes.
So obviously, if you breed them small, they lose information to be big.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. So what happened?
They did that. They went out of the ark.
They did that. They did that. Yeah. Right. Okay. Genesis 8:20 to 22. Mark.
But then Noah built an altar to the Lord and took of every clean animal and every clean bird and offered burnt offerings on the altar. And the Lord smelled a soothing aroma. Then the Lord said in his heart, "I will never again curse the ground for man's sake, although the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth, nor will I again destroy every living thing as I have done. While the earth remains, seedtime and harvest, cold and heat, winter and summer, and day and night shall not cease."
Okay. So what did Noah do?
He built an altar to the Lord
He built an
Sacrifice.
altar
and offered burnt offerings
and offered clean animals.
Yeah. And clean birds.
Okay, and clean birds. Okay. What was God's reaction?
It's not the aroma. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah? Okay.
He promised he
Never
would never
again.
again destroy the
Yes.
earth
Yeah, and he would never again destroy the earth by water.
by water.
And what did God say?
It says you're never going to destroy every living thing. Every living thing. So in the coming times of Armageddon and so on.
Actually, he says, "I will never again curse the ground."
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Any more for man's sake?
So is the ground no longer cursed because of the water?
Interesting.
Has the water been some sort of cleansing agent?
I think, isn't it more that I won't curse it more than what it is? Already cursed.
Well, I don't know.
Because we've still got thorn and thistle and...
But
bindweed.
if you take it as it's read, I will never again.
Yeah, but I see what you're saying.
In Japanese, knotweed.
So you can't curse it twice, can you?
Curse the ground.
In
but I think it's
Genesis 3, he cursed the ground for Adam's sake.
For Adam's sake, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Genesis 8,
Yeah.
he says, I will not curse again the ground or for any more for man's sake.
Yeah.
For the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth.
Although, yeah.
Neither will I again smite any more every living thing as I have done. In other words, God will never drown. And because we understand what is coming.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The thing is, if you look at it, it must still be.
We're
cursed,
reading
aren't we?
bits
Yeah.
and we're answering bits as we go along. However, we understand what is coming.
Yeah.
Okay? Because the Lord makes a bow in the sky and says a covenant, and therefore he also says that he will, or Peter says that he will destroy the earth by fire. So this must be flood.
Well, it goes on later to say that, doesn't it? It's the bit about I've often wondered about that, whether the curse was lifted or not.
I wouldn't think so, because there are still thorns and thistles.
Just the same way man's heart is still desperately wicked, isn't it? So I don't think it has changed.
I'm going to look at that.
Yeah. That's interesting.
So
It's one of them, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, if it's already cursed, or was
Yes.
already cursed,
Yes.
how can you curse it again?
Yeah, exactly. It's
Interesting.
How come you don't know, Neville?
A human like you.
I'm not human.
Neither will I again smite any more every living thing as I have done. So in other words, we know that he will not drown every living thing, because later on he says that. But we do know that every living thing will be consumed,
Yes.
because the earth will be destroyed.
It's the as I have done bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a good point, that.
All right. Die. Genesis 9, 1 and 2.
So God blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be on every beast of the earth, on every bird of the air, on all that move on the earth, and on all the fish of the sea. They are given into your hand.
Okay. What did God do?
Bless Noah and
He
his
blessed
sons.
Noah and his sons.
He blessed Noah and his sons. And what did God command them to do?
Be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth.
What was different from the original creation?
Doesn't say to have dominion over everything.
Well, now there's the fear of you and the
exactly.
dread of you.
Yes.
The point is, the original creation,
There was no fear.
prior to the fall, man ruled the inferior
He did.
animals by love and kindness.
Mm.
For then gentleness and docility were their principal characteristics.
Right.
I had a question I was talking to Al about the first. And it is not a facetious question, it may sound a bit not, because we're talking about other things. Do you think there was ever a plan for Adam and Eve to have children before the fall?
I would have said that the Lord knows everything, so he knows.
Yes.
No,
What
do you
is gonna
think there
happen?
was there's no indication, is there?
No.
If all had gone well, it would have just been Adam and Eve and...
If
in
all had
perpetuity.
gone well,
Yeah.
it would have been Adam and Eve and their children and their children's
they would
children
have
and so on and so forth.
Without sin, yeah.
But, however, God knew
I got that.
if you turn round to a
But
baby,
there's no indication that Adam and Eve were going to have children prior to the fall.
no,
So it just would have been the three of them, God and Adam and Eve.
Wow.
because I'm sorry, I've lost the point because
When Adam and Eve were...
No, do you understand?
It's
But
on
we
about multiplying and you said what's different, didn't you? So the question is, before the fall,
Doesn't it say at the beginning?
was there going to be multiplication before the fall?
Thank you.
It doesn't
does
say
say-
to be
he
it,
does
fruitful.
it says
Yeah,
be,
it does
be,
say.
be
Be
fruitful
fruitful
and
It does.
Yes,
yeah.
he does.
In the beginning,
it,
sorry.
it says,
Yeah.
however, within, you see, we come to the question of how long did Adam and Eve last before eating of the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil.
No.
How long if you give a child a matchbox and say, do not,
Yeah.
how long?
It doesn't even have to be a matchbox.
Oh,
an
exactly.
empty
Or
box.
before you see the sign, do not walk on the grass.
Exactly. And so on and so forth. You know, and so we understand that they only lasted a very short time. Obviously, not long enough to have children.
Not long enough to eat the apple. Or whatever.
Eat whatever fruit,
What's
yeah.
fruit?
Whatever
The fruit, yeah.
It's like as if
Anyway,
he puts a
it-
plate down and it says, oh, be careful, that plate's hot, so the first thing you do is touch it. Oh, yeah, that is hot.
Yeah.
The
They
apple
were
with it.
childlike in their decisions, weren't they? Though? So he knew that.
So after the fall, ferocity prevailed amongst almost all of creation. Animals have become the enemy of man. Before they haven't. Had God not affected the animals' minds with the fear of man, so that some of them submitted while others stay out of the reach of the human race, the human race would have been totally destroyed by the beast of the field. In fact, a horse is far stronger than a man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just the horse. We look enormous
Yeah.
to the horse, and they therefore submit to us.
I know, it's quite, it's quite amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've often thought of that. Same with the cattle and all the other animals.
Yeah, sure. So
But it's the Lord that...
we understand that before the flood, I mean, we understand that they are going to go back to that because the lamb shall lay it down with the lion and they will eat straw again and so on and so forth. Interesting. Sheila, Genesis 9:3-7.
Every moving thing that lives shall be food for you. I have given you all things, even as the green herbs, but you shall not eat flesh with its life, that is, its blood. Surely for your lifeblood I will demand a reckoning. From the hand of every beast I will require it, and from the hand of man. From the hand of every man's brother I will require the life of man. Whoever sheds man's blood, by man his blood shall be shed. For in the image of God he created man. And as for you, be fruitful and multiply. Bring forth abundantly in the earth, and multiply in it. Sorry.
From this
Right.
passage, what can we deduce Noah's family was originally?
Well, because I don't understand the question.
No.
Unfruitful.
No.
Well,
You mean occupant, not job place?
No.
no, because it's one of those.
Read what it says. Read what it says, and then
be fruitful.
understand
Yeah.
what they were before.
Vegetarians before?
They were vegetarians.
Mm.
They must be vegetarian.
And the animals were just
Yeah.
herbivores.
Because,
This is a bit different, isn't it?
yeah,
Mm.
every moving and everything that liveth shall be meat for you, even as the garden herb, or the green herb, have I given you all things. So, originally, they were vegetarian.
Mm.
Yeah. And the animals were just,
Yeah.
they weren't any
Okay.
coniferous animals.
Mm.
Concerning verse 5, it's quite interesting what Adam Clarke has to say. He says, this is very obscure, but if taken literally, it seems to be an awful warning against cruelty to the brute creation. And from it we may conclude that horse racers, hare hunters, bull baiters and cockfighters shall be obliged to give account to God for every creature they have wantonly destroyed.
Does that then, if you push that forward, if you push that, extend that, to battery farming
Oh,
and
yeah.
so
Yeah.
on.
So forth. You know, you understand, Adam Clarke was writing this in 1840, 1830, something like that. We're now 160 years, 170 years later.
So if you take
What about fox hunting?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah, you just extend that into the way they now factory farm things.
Yeah, yeah, quite.
So it's the same thing, isn't it?
It is.
But this is all leading to, without the shedding of blood, there's no remission of sins, isn't it? Oh, sorry. It's all leading to, when they sacrifice the animals, you have to bleed them and that.
Yeah.
And without the shedding of blood?
Well,
Is this the one that the Jehovah's Witnesses use against their argument for blood transfusion?
I don't know.
Because there's a couple of verses.
Yeah, they maybe do. I don't know.
They take
Because
the one
they say
you shall not
you
eat an
shall-
animal.
you know, you're not should whatever it is.
It's the life in the blood thing
Yeah,
that's important.
the life
Yes.
in the
So
blood.
did you
You
see
can't
the,
eat something that's been strangled and
did
things
you
like
see
The
the
life in
study
the
that
blood.
was done on that? A proper study over
No.
20 odd years.
Yeah.
The people's personalities change if you have massive blood transfusions
Really?
or organ transplants.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, promise.
But the whole thing is that they didn't understand it was to do with
Yeah, that's right. So
with the
there's,
shedding of
all
blood.
it does is say this is true, doesn't it? The life is in the blood.
Well,
and
ask
me.
Sheila if my personality
So
has
if you had a
changed.
blood transfusion off me, you would be instantly charismatic, personable, loving, kind, generous,
Now we're digressing now.
so on.
Exactly, Martin.
You're on.
That's
But
okay.
You're being recorded.
that is that is
That's
a
okay.
I think this is the one that did about the life in the blood thing.
I need to say to you, ask Sheila whether my character has changed.
Yes, you
Because
have blood
when I
transfusion.
had a heart bypass,
Yeah.
they gave me 8 pints of blood.
Did they? From Mr. Grumpy. Was it? Moving on.
Right. Now, instead of the Hebrew chaya, which is beast, the Samaritan reads yod kaf chai, living. That is any living creature or person. This makes very good sense and equally forbids cruelty either to men or beasts.
Yeah. It says that somewhere else too in the scripture, I can't remember where.
What does God say to murderers?
Whoever sheds man's blood will be shed.
The blood on the ground will cry out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you
Yes.
But he says, whoso sheddeth man blood, by man's blood shall he be shed. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's God's instruction to man, which is be fruitful and multiply, bring forth abundantly in the earth and multiply therein. Okay. Now, Genesis 8, it's quite a chunk.
Genesis
And
8.
Genesis 9,
Okay.
8 to 17. And God spake unto Noah and his sons with him, saying, and behold, I establish my covenant with you and with your seed after you, with every living creature that is with you, of the fowl, of the cattle, and of the beast of the earth with you, from all that go out of the ark to every beast of the earth. And I will establish my covenant with you, neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of a flood, neither shall there be any more a flood to destroy the earth. And God said, this is the token of the covenant which I shall make between me and you, and every living creature that is with you, for perpetual generations. I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth. And it shall come to pass, when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the bow shall be seen in the cloud. And I will remember my covenant which is between me and you, and every living creature of all flesh, and the waters shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh. And the bow shall be in the cloud, and I will look upon it, that I may remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth. And God said unto Noah, this is the token of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is upon the earth. So what is the covenant?
I'll never again flood the earth.
What is a covenant?
Promise.
What is a covenant?
An agreement.
Between.
It's more than agreement.
It's
Almost not with the law.
God.
It's a promise,
Promise,
isn't
yeah.
it? But it's a binding promise.
Yeah.
Binding
Yeah.
agreement. Promise.
If we,
Like
I'm
marriage.
just
Like
worried
marriage,
about
isn't it?
Martin, who's looking up scripture.
Carry on.
It's like marriage, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carry on.
A marriage covenant, where you say I do, and that's a covenant. we need to understand that. Who did God make the covenant
Well,
with?
see, that was the interesting thing there in 13, when it says that the covenant between me and the earth.
Me and the earth. Yeah.
Mm.
As well as...
The sign
Yeah.
of covenant.
It was between God and Noah,
Yeah.
but it was God who promised that never again
Yeah.
will he flood
Flood.
the earth.
Like,
Yeah.
So his covenant was
But
between.
see, it's just between me and the earth. How can
Yeah.
the earth respond? Well, it can because he made it. So
Yeah, no, it can't. But
Well, it's
God
a promise
makes a
to Noah.
covenant with Abraham later on. Okay. Where was Abraham?
in Noah.
He fast
No,
asleep.
He was asleep.
He was asleep.
No, yeah.
Abraham was asleep.
Yeah.
So Abraham
Oh, right,
had
yes.
nothing
Yeah.
to
Oh,
do with
the-
the covenant.
Yeah.
So-
Mm.
No, that was all about the earth. I was just when
Well,
you
Yeah,
actually,
but
that's
you
the same,
understand,
it's the same as with
It's
Abraham.
the same. Earth was asleep, so to speak.
Oh, I see. what
yeah,
you're
I
saying.
understand it. I was just reminding myself.
Sure,
that it was-
sure.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
no,
the
no.
thing-
So if you think
Yeah.
of it, this is the first time there's been a rainbow.
Yeah.
Was a rainbow on the earth.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's the first time.
It had, well, it
Obviously,
first started rain.
It's the first time it's rained.
So this is the
Yeah,
first time it's
yeah,
been a
yeah.
rainbow in the
Yeah.
sky.
We learnt last time
Yeah.
Yeah.
that the earth was
That's just-
watered by a mist.
Yes.
Mm.
Okay.
So this time it came up from the deep and
Yeah.
then also came down. Wow,
So there
that
weren't
must have been
clouds
quite
before.
frightening.
But there was a sort of canopy.
There was a
wasn't
canopy. It
There,
was
there
like
was
a
a canopy.
greenhouse effect.
There was. I mean, basically,
A greenhouse.
if we remember or think, there was a complete cloud cover over the
But he
all
says,
the
doesn't
earth.
he, when I send the cloud over somewhere.
It was
That's why things.
different then.
That's why things
Because when
grew
the
so
canopy
big.
broke,
Because it was perfect.
the thinking was that when the canopy was around the earth, you had a higher barometric pressure, which meant things
Yeah.
could grow bigger.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Absolutely.
when that broke, things got smaller.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Lots more
yeah,
oxygen.
I mean the flood.
Mm.
I haven't gone into it because
No.
the flood is quite a
They,
vast
they do
subject.
say there's more water under the earth than there is on it,
Sure.
under the mantle of the
Yeah.
thing.
Good.
So it would have come up, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
There's no problem
would've.
with it coming out.
Exactly.
So yeah, 13 and 14. I set my rainbow in the cloud, and then 14. It shall be when I bring a cloud over the earth.
Yeah.
Then the rainbow shall be seen in the cloud.
Yeah, but they had never seen a cloud
No,
before
that's-
because
That's what
they
he's trying to say.
That's
they-
what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
they had a complete cloud cover.
Yeah,
Canopy over it.
but it was
Canopy.
different than a cloud.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
like-
Yes.
So this would have been the
Sure.
first cloud.
Wow.
I mean,
Possibly.
occasionally,
Yeah,
well, one imagines that Noah saw blue sky.
yeah. Yeah.
They'd never seen that before.
No.
Is that what they call it? Yeah. I was just,
Well, think about it. You
I'm
know.
not disagreeing with
No,
that.
no, fine.
I went off on a tangent there. I thought
So they had glue
because,
every day.
because you had sea, didn't you? Because you had fish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then you must have had condensation, right? So why? So it must. They can't. Which causes clouds, doesn't it?
Yes,
But
but
somehow that didn't happen. It all went.
but they
It was
it
a
was
perfect
hell,
environment.
wasn't it?
It
The
was a
whole earth was
perfect.
the
It
environment.
was a
was
perfect
hell.
environment.
Yeah.
It just went off on a tangent.
Perfect.
It was
Yeah.
perfect environment.
No, we do understand, Martin.
360 days a year.
A bit like Yorkshire.
Notice he said Yorkshire.
I've got to go.
Right.
It's Martin is his name.
Well, when you're discussing this stuff with people who have
Yeah.
strong views to the opposite effect.
Yeah.
And you look at some of the evidence about lions and tigers, some of them have still got vegetarian teeth today.
Mm.
T-Rex was a vegetarian.
Mm.
It wasn't a meat eater like in the movies. And so you look at all the disinformation, Hollywood, movies,
Yeah, it's
so on.
yeah.
Education,
Yeah.
disinformation,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
isn't it? There's
Oh
tons
yeah,
of it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, I gotta go, guys.
Oh.
It's been almost pleasant.
No, I hope not. Genesis 9:18 to 22. Please, Neville.
The rainbow shall be in the cloud, and I will look
No,
on.
hold on.
Sorry.
Noah and his sons.
9:18 and to 22. 18?
Genesis 9.
18.
Oh, I was looking at 16.
Verse
sorry.
18.
Now the sons of Noah who went out of the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And Ham was the father of Canaan. These three were the sons of Noah, and from those the whole earth was populated. And Noah began to be a farmer, and he planted a vineyard. Chapter 22. Then he drank of the wine and was drunk, and became uncovered in his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father, and told his two brothers outside.
Who went forth out of the ark?
Noah.
Noah's sons.
Yeah, Noah's sons.
Noah and his sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and of course, their wives. What did they do?
Just planting vineyard. Planting a vineyard.
No, that was Noah.
They started populating the earth.
They spread throughout, eventually throughout the earth, which is quite interesting, because Shem, Ham, and Japheth spread throughout the earth.
Yeah.
And you only get 3 types of people:
That's in one verse.
Hamites, Japhethites, and Semites. It's interesting.
I wonder what period of time that covered in that one verse.
Well, quite. Obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. What did Noah do?
Oh dear.
He planted a vineyard.
And he drank too much.
What is peculiar about this?
Became uncovered.
No.
No?
What? Who planted before Noah?
Cain and Abel. Well,
God planted, obviously. on the
Yes.
earth.
Yeah,
so-
you're right.
I'm
God
right.
planted a garden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were just.
And this is the next second time you read that Noah planted.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
No one planted.
Just tending.
From as far as we're concerned,
Yeah.
from reading,
Yeah.
Noah planted and God planted.
Sure.
That's it.
Yeah.
So what happened to Noah?
He became a farmer and that.
Well, he became a husbandman, a farmer,
Yeah.
and
Is he the first person to become inebriated?
no, well, he became inebriated. Okay.
Not realising what it.
What can we assume from this?
sure what you mean by that.
No.
Yeah.
Well, for Noah to make wine,
Did
he
know
must
that
have
it was...
seen wine being made.
Okay. Mm.
Okay.
So
yeah.
it must have
And it
been
would affect
made
him.
before the fall.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that would
Right,
affect
yeah.
him.
Yes.
So wine was made before the fall.
Okay.
Right, okay.
Okay,
Mm.
all right.
Yeah.
How did Shem and Japheth know that he was naked?
Oh.
Well,
Is that
he
they
must have
knew
been
Adam?
told. He must have been.
They saw, didn't they? And then
It only says that Ham saw and told
Ham
his brothers
saw,
outside.
yeah.
and we assume because he named Canaan
Mm.
that Canaan also was involved.
Mm.
Because if you read on,
Yeah.
Canaan is cursed.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
What's his Ham?
Yeah.
Doesn't.
So-
No, it doesn't actually say there. But
No,
I'll see what you're saying.
it doesn't say. But
Anyway, then
we-
he
we-
told his brothers.
okay,
didn't he?
so Noah obviously woke up and he slept and he woke up and found he was covered.
Mm.
And he must have inquired, who covered me?
Mm.
It's like going back to, you know, your Adam and Eve and like they didn't know they were
Well,
naked, and then
quite.
yeah.
So then we'd assume that who covered me, and he found Shem and Japheth
He
covered
actually
him.
said.
Mm.
Now, actually, Shem and Japheth. Okay. I'll hang on to that for a second.
Yeah.
What was Ham doing in his father's tent?
Mm.
It doesn't actually say.
No, it doesn't.
No.
But we can imagine that he shouldn't have been there.
No.
He shouldn't have gone into the tent.
Mm.
No.
Okay?
Mm.
Right. So we're told in the commentaries, the Jewish commentaries,
Mm.
that Ham was not a very nice person.
Oh.
Well, it's
Okay.
like you're dishonouring your
That's
father,
right.
isn't it?
Mm.
We're told that Ham saw the nakedness of his father and told his brothers.
Mm.
What can we gather from this?
Well,
It's like a proud piece of knowledge, isn't it?
Well,
You know what I mean? Like a bit.
Ham delighted
Yeah, he's got, you know.
in seeing his father undressed.
Mhm. Mm.
but it doesn't actually
And
say.
from the
does it?
following
Mm.
curse, Noah did as well. Okay. Now, sorry, I'm from the following curse.
Okay.
Yeah.
We understand.
Can you just say that again? I don't,
Yeah,
I don't
I
understand.
missed it. Ham delighted in seeing his father undressed, and from the following curse that happens,
Mm.
Mm.
Noah also understood.
So it must have been like an unwritten thing that you didn't
Now, but
see
but
somebody.
understand, there was no law at this time.
Okay.
Okay, so how did they know that this was wrong?
Goes back to Adam and Eve, doesn't it?
It goes back to Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because they said
Genesis 3:7.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mm.
and Di, if you would read Genesis 9:23-27.
But But Shem and Japheth took a garment, laid it on both their shoulders, and went backwards and covered the nakedness of their father. Their faces were turned away, and they did not see their father's nakedness. So Noah awoke from his wine, and knew what his younger son had done to him. Then he said, Cursed be Canaan, the servant of servants. He shall be to his brethren. And he said, Blessed be the Lord, the God of Shem, and may Canaan be his servant. May God enlarge Japheth, and may he dwell in the tents of Shem, and may Canaan be his servant.
Let's ask a simple question. What did Shem and Japheth do?
There's no mention of Ham in that, is there?
What did Shem and Japheth do?
They covered him.
Yeah, verse 23.
Yeah.
They laid a garment on their shoulders
went
and they
backwards.
back.
Yeah.
And so,
They
so
backed his dignity.
okay, right,
Mm.
okay. How did Noah know what his younger son had done? As I said,
Because
he was covered
He was covered.
and made inquiries about it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
What did Noah say?
Cursed be Canaan.
Cursed be Canaan, a
A
servant of servants.
To his brethren.
Cursed be Canaan, not
Not
Ham.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Dear.
Okay.
So it's like passed on to...
What is peculiar about this?
Why is it not Ham?
Because you are responsible as...
Your
The
bloodline.
Canaan was responsible for Ham.
Mm.
You're responsible for your children,
Ham
aren't you?
was responsible for Canaan.
Canaan.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, yes.
This is
the father
actually
of
the
Canaan.
first prophecy in the Bible.
Mm.
Noah prophesies,
Mm.
and
So,
he does so, and it's fantastic. Because he says, Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall be he unto his brethren. And blessed be the Lord God of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. God shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. Now, that's a prophecy. Why does God not curse Ham?
Age.
Well, actually, the Hebrew says, Canaan shall be cursed. Not cursed be Canaan, but Canaan shall be cursed. In other words, later on, Canaan shall be cursed.
In the future. Okay.
As we will see later on, this came to pass. The posterity of Canaan served the posterity of Shem and Japheth. It's interesting to note that Canaan means humble or mean and abject.
Goodness.
Why did Noah bless Shem first?
His first son.
Yeah, the first son, yes.
Who-
The genealogy of it.
Who
That's-
covered
Oh, yeah.
Noah?
Yeah, they covered him. Yeah.
Shem
and
and
Japheth took
Japheth.
the garment.
Shem and Japheth.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we understand that the Bible tells us Shem was the ringleader
Yeah.
and Japheth went along with him.
Yeah.
Okay, so we see that Noah blessed Shem first. Shem was the leader in the covering. What did Noah say? Now, if we're to fully understand this, read Psalm 144:15. Psalm 144:15.
Is it me?
Well, it doesn't matter.
Happy are the people who are in such a state. Happy are the people whose God is the Lord.
Okay. Okay. You understand that he said, blessed be the Lord God of Shem.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Blessed be the Lord God of Shem. Of course, Shem was the antecedent of Christ
Yes.
in human terms. Yeah?
Yeah.
What did Noah say that Canaan should be?
His servant.
Yeah.
I see.
Or what did Noah say about Japheth?
He'll dwell.
May he dwell in the tents of Shem.
Right.
May Canaan
Let's
be his
let's
servant.
hold on a second. Okay. In verse 26, okay, blessed be the God of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. Okay? This was fulfilled in the times of Joshua, when the Israelites conquered the land of Canaan and slew 30 kings of their kings and took their cities and possessed them. Okay? They made the Gibeonites, one of the states of Canaan, hewers of wood and drawers of water, or the most mean and abject servants.
Yeah.
Canaan.
The Gibeonites.
I've told you. Canaan means mean and abject.
Oh.
What did Noah prophesy for Japheth?
But Canaan will be his servant.
Ah, that they should inhabit a large part of the earth, including
Large
the
Japheth.
tents of Shem, which they have done until the times of the Gentiles will be over.
Yeah, are they from where the Gentiles come from, aren't they?
Well, the Gentiles,
Japheth, yeah.
Japheth.
Yeah,
Now,
Gentiles.
listen. The descendants of Canaan were ruled by Japheth when Tyre, which was built by the Sidonians, Poseidon being the eldest son of Canaan, fell into the hands of Alexander, and when Carthage, a colony of Phoenicians, Canaan's race, was taken and demolished by the Romans.
Goodness.
It's quite interesting that these come to pass. What Noah says, we brush over it, but it's a prophecy which totally was fulfilled.
It's phenomenal.
It really is.
But from Shem is the Hebrews, isn't it? It's where Jesus comes from. Jesus comes from Shem, and Japheth is the Gentiles. So there's like a double. There's a promise for the Jews and the Gentiles, isn't there?
Let's finish this off with Genesis 9:28 and 29. And Noah lived after the flood 350 years, and all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. Simple question. How long did Noah live after the flood?
350 years.
What was the age of Noah when he died?
950 years.
Okay.
And he died.
Okay. What did he witness?
600 years after flood.
What did he witness? Think about it.
God destroying you.
He witnessed the wickedness
Yeah.
of the earth before the flood.
Yeah.
Yes.
God's judgment on the earth
Yeah.
and
Then
the increase of wickedness
with the tower.
after the flood.
Yeah, Tower of Babel.
Yeah.
The building of the Tower of Babel.
Yeah, Nimrod.
Yeah. The confusion of languages.
The scattering of the people.
The dispersion of his offspring.
Sure.
The wars among them in the times of Nimrod and others. It was a blessing to mankind that he lived long after the flood. Why?
Well, he knew what would happen if they carried on wickedness.
Well, he transmitted to the new world about the old
Yeah.
and gave particular account of the destruction of it.
Yeah.
And he was instrumental in instructing them in the doctrines and duties of religion. By this 950 years, it appears that he lived within 32 years of the birth of Abraham. In fact, the Jews conclude that he lived to the 58th year of Abraham's life.
Good.
That puts it all in context, doesn't it? Any questions?
I thought you said earlier on that Canaan meant humble.
I said humble or mean and abject.